Kahlil Gibran is an Lebanese-American artist and poet. His work that is on children is taken from the selection that is The Prophet. So his poems are considered as poetic essays. That means they do not have proper versification. And this present poem that is on children is a selection from The Prophet. The Prophet, Kahlil Gibran's Prophet, it has been translated into 25 languages including Kannada. And through this poem on children, he wanted to tell what it is. It's a critic actually. A critic on the usual expectations of the parents about their children and also urges them to introspect. So here in the poem on children is a selection from The Prophet. That means the name of the book, The Prophet, and also the speaker here is also the Prophet, the speaker of the poem. So the poem starts with a woman who held her baby against her bosom. She requests the Prophet to speak on children. As a young mother, she wanted to know about the children. So what is her right role and responsibility in the life of her child? She wanted to know. So she requests the Prophet to speak on children. Then the Prophet starts his speech with a striking statement. The striking statement that is, your children are not your children. Definitely it is a shocking statement for a young mother. Your children are not your children. They are whose children they are. He gives in the next lines the clarification, that is, they are the sons and daughters of the life's longing for itself. Children are the sons and daughters of the life's longing. Life wanted to continue its journey on this earth. In order to continue its journey on this earth, it wants the sons and daughters. So that's why they are coming to this earth. So he also says that they come through you but not from you. Through you here indicates that parents or the passage or the medium through which the children are coming to this world, but not from the parents. That means they have not created. The creator is different. The life wanted to continue its journey on this earth. So that is why children are coming to this earth as sons and daughters of the life's longing for itself. That he gives clarity. Saying that, he also says that, so you may house their bodies but not their souls, he says. And also what can be given to the children? What should not be given to the children? He gives the clarity there. Parents can give their love to the children, but they should not give the thoughts to the children. Why? So the parents can give their love but not thoughts. Why here? He says very clearly that because they have their own thoughts. Children do have their own thoughts. So here it is not that parents' role is very passive. Otherwise, parents do not have any particular role in the life of a child. Not that meaning parents have a major role in the life of a child. Parents play a very great role in the life of a child because they come through the parents and they can love. Their parents can love their children. But why the thoughts should not be given? Because here thoughts should not be given means they should not impose their thoughts. Many a times we could see the parents, they impose their thoughts or their interest. So here the Prophet very clearly telling the right role of the parents. So parents are not supposed to impose their thoughts on the children. The other way, they can guide the children about the wrong or right, but they should not impose their thoughts. That is the meaning, that they should not give their thoughts because they do have their own thoughts. And later he says that you may house their bodies but not their souls, because their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. House of tomorrow here meaning is the future. So you cannot, that future you cannot visit even in your dreams also. So he says that children, you cannot house their, you can house their body but not their souls, because the children's souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. That means children belong to the future. And that future you cannot visit. You, throughout the poem here, it is for the parents. So you cannot visit, not even in your dreams also, he says. And later he says that you may strive to be like them. Many a times parents try to make their children like them, but here prophet is telling no. You may strive to be like them, or do not make them to be like you, because life never tarries with yesterday. Life never goes back. Life never goes back. It always goes forward, and it never tarries with yesterday. So that means parents belong to the past and children belong to the future. So that's why the children, they have to move towards the future, but you should not bring them back to the past. And then he says, so he makes it very clear the role of the parent and the responsibility of the parents in the life of a child with a metaphor. The metaphor here he has used the bows, arrows and archer. The bows refer to the parents and the arrows to the children and the archer to the god. So here the comparison, the metaphor is very clear. The bow and arrows both are in the hands of the archer, that is the god. The children and the parents both are the creation of the God itself. But God has given the great role and responsibility for the parents, that is as a bow. So it has to bend in the hands of the archer, because the archer set the mark. So on the path of the infinite, we do not know where is the end for this journey. But definitely for everybody there is a particular destination. So we do not know that. So the archer knows that. The archer marks the upon the path of the infinite, and then so he targets, he sends the arrows towards its destination with the help of the bows. If the bow does not bend, here you could observe in the lines that he bends you with his might. He bends you with his might that his arrows go. He. These words here, though they are the pronouns, so it's given with a capital letter, because he here indicating the God. So he bends you, the God bends you. You hear the parents, the God bends the parents. God bends the parents. If it is a bow, we can understand it is, how he can bend it. But as parents, here bending in the hands of the archer is nothing but, so here being submissive to the will of the God. If the parents, so they be submissive to the will of the God, then it would be cooperating. So to the archer, he could send the arrows far and swift also. And also sometimes here parents may think that why should we bend? Why should we be submissive to the will of the God? But it is for the gladness. That is what here bending in the archer's hand is for the gladness. So because God decides, God thinks for each person a particular destination. To send towards that destination, he needs the cooperation of the parents, as how the bow cooperates in the hands of the archer, so that he can send his arrows swift and far. In the same way, he can design future of the child according to his will and wish with the cooperation of the parents. That's why he says that the archer bends the bow with his might, and that bending is for the gladness. And here he says he loves the arrows that fly, and also he loves the bow that is stable. So he is expecting the bow should be stable, because the bow should be stable because it has to bear. So the strain and the pain when the arrow, when he is sending the arrow with the help of a bow. So here through this metaphor, the prophet is very clearly speaking about the role and responsibilities of the parents. So in the life of a child, that's how the bow and arrows in the hands of the archer. So the parents, the children, both are in the hands of the God. Parents, if they are submissive to the will of the God, so then they also can encourage their children according to the talent, their talent. So definitely that would lead for the gladness of the parents. So totally through this poem, the speaker, that is the prophet, wanted to tell very clearly what is the role and responsibility of the parents in the life of the child. And here you may get 2 major questions, 3 or 4 mark questions here. That is, one question it is, what is the role and responsibilities of the parents in the life of the child? And the second question is, how did the prophet explain the role of the parents through the metaphor? The metaphor here we have clearly, that is the bows, arrows and archer. So if you prepare for these 2 questions, definitely you can prepare for a 4 mark and 1 mark question from this poem.